As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
Vikings. Kirk Cousins goes down with the Achilles, and they trade for Josh Dobbs, who was at Arizona, had a couple really nice games for Arizona this year. And what a football game Josh Dobbs plays in his Vikings debut. That was awesome.
Have you seen all the stories written about him basically not knowing any of the plays,
No.
not knowing, had to get his O line together on the sideline to do the cadence? Like, that's unbelievable. That guy's got a massive brain. I understand that, especially with the way it started for him. It got off to a very rough start. For him to bounce back that way, Gabe winning drive, like the entire thing, that was crazy.
Crazy. Awesome to see. That was great. What they had right around 2 minutes or so left and 11 plays, 75 yards down the field to get the win. So awesome. That's cool to see. You hate it for Kirk Cousins, but to see a guy, just picked up off the street, so to speak, come in and put that type of performance together. It's just fun. It's fun to watch. It's not a really a good sign of long-term success necessarily, but in the short term, at least, it was really, really cool to watch.
You know what it does for Josh Dobbs? It extends his career by 8 years, 10 years. He's a backup quarterback.
Yes.
I know as much as, he wants to talk about being a starter and getting an opportunity. I think at this point it's been established. He's a backup quarterback. You go out there and you do something like that, every GM across the league remembers that.
Mm-hmm.
He can be a QB3, a QB2 for a long, long time based off that one performance and the things that Kevin O'Connell was saying about him after the game. It sounds like O'Connell was just telling him what the routes were over the headset. And he just had to absorb all of it and be like, all right, okay, got it. That's legendary stuff. The dude's going to be a backup for a long, long time. That one performance, I don't know how much money it's going to make him in the long run, but it's a lot.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, it's kind of interesting. A lot of teams do. I bet most teams do 80% the same stuff. And it's not all different language, but a lot of it's different language from team to team. Like if there was like a uniform language that everyone used offensively, you'd see a lot. You'd be able to switch quarterbacks around and players switch mid-season a lot easier. But anyways, it was really cool to watch, and that made for a really fun game, and that's awesome for Dobbs, and hopefully Minnesota can keep it going a little bit here.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins was playing really good football. I hated seeing him go down with the Achilles, but all of a sudden the Vikings are 5-4 after getting off to a 1-4 start. Look at you, Minnesota. Impressive.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. They've they play good team football, and it shows. I mean, that's how you do that. But that one is at least how it started off. Not one that you were going to check into the win column, but they were able to come in and steal it. Pretty cool.
No doubt. All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
I had to go Baker Mayfield. Man, Tampa looked so promising. They started off 3-1, playing good football, and really they still are doing some pretty good things, but they've lost 4 straight. Now, it's been a tough run of games, but had one ripped from their hands at Houston. CJ Stroud, which he is having an incredible year at quarterback. He goes right down the field in under a minute, like it's nothing, and scores an answer touchdown after Baker Mayfield went down in a 2-minute drive and threw one in to take the lead. Baker Mayfield's played pretty well. The offense has done a pretty good job. their defense right now, historically bad against the pass. It has just snowballed on them. I don't know what's going to happen with them moving forward. Is the schedules? It's not getting easier anytime soon.
Yeah, I think on the list of issues for the Bucs, Baker Mayfield's pretty far down the list.
Yeah,
right now, he's playing solid football. He's not the problem. That defense, especially the back end. CJ Stroud is good, but 5 touchdowns,
almost 400 something yards through the air,
470.
Woo.
I mean, or four. It's like four. It was like 450 or something like that.
Bad.
In an NFL game.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in NFL games.
Yeah,
that's a stat line from when he was at Ohio State.
Yes, yeah, it has not been good, man. And like I said, they started off so strong. I mean, it started when they played the Lions. Goff threw for like 350. Allen with against Buffalo, he threw for like 350. Now the Falcons, that was a tighter football game, but you still had Desmond Ridder go 19 to 25 for 250 yards. They are giving up so much through the air right now. It really doesn't matter what Baker and the offense do. They've got to get something going defensively, but I hate that for Baker because he's, like I said, awesome 2-minute drive to go down for the go-ahead touchdown. You feel like, hey, man, and I don't even think Houston had any timeouts. Just went boom, 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 touchdown, game over. Crazy.
Only other thing about that game, the running back Agumbawale kicking field goals.
Oh yeah, that was
pretty awesome.
That was awesome.
Do you remember Arike Agumbawale? She played at Notre Dame, hit the game winner to win. Was that the Final Four of the national championship? It was one or the other for Notre Dame. She plays for the Dallas Wings now. She's an all-star in the WNBA. That's her brother.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember. I remember hitting the shot in college for sure.
Yes,
that's cool. Huh?
Athletic family.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
elevate your tailgate with Chapel Supply and Equipment in Oklahoma City. Chapel Supply and Equipment has generators and inverters on hand that'll give you all the power you need so you can take your tailgate to the next level. They also got top-of-the-line heaters to keep you warm during those cold tailgates later in the season. Oklahoma owned and operated. Elevate your tailgate by calling 405-495-1722 or visit chapelsupply.com. That's CHAPPELL supply.com.
And First Fidelity Bank knows how to keep fans like you happy. With more than 50 awards in the last 5 years, including Forbes Best in State Bank, the Oklahoma's Community Choice Awards, and the Journal Records Reader Rankings, it's clear that they are Oklahoma's #1 pick for quality banking. And you can find that level of outstanding service in everything FFB offers. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
And head to opolisclothing.com for a podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
One more thing for Opolis. I know a lot of fans were moved by that clip of Drake Stoops speaking about how there's still things to play for, and that was awesome. It's fantastic stuff. Drake Stoops has 3 NIL shirts on opolisclothing.com. Go buy them. Support that young man. He is everything you want in an Oklahoma Sooner. He hasn't promoted his shirts at all, but they're there. I know they're there. I've seen them. So opolisclothing.com. Go buy Drake shirts. It'll help him out. My winner of the week, James Madison University. The Dukes are not going down without a fight, Ted. The leadership at JMU is continuing to fight for its football players, and I appreciate it. So some background on this, if you don't know what I'm talking about. JMU made the transition from the FCS to the FBS last season. And for whatever reason, when you make that transition, you are ineligible for the postseason for your first 2 years. It's a stupid, outdated rule that's going to change here in the pretty near future. I don't understand it, but it is the rule. JMU, now they have already tried to get the NCAA to do the right thing on multiple occasions. And I think the Attorney General for Virginia even got involved at one point. They've been denied with everything they've tried to do. But they're making one last effort. They just sent another letter to the NCAA D1 Board of Directors asking the NCAA to please do the right thing. People, JMU is 9-0. They are one of 7 undefeated teams in the FBS. They're the number 21 ranked team in the AP poll. And the only reason they aren't ranked in the CFP rankings is because they're not eligible for the postseason. So they don't factor them in. JMU is giving the NCAA one more chance to do the right thing, Ted. Do we think they'll do it? It seems like the easiest decision ever for the NCAA.
It does. I'm sitting here trying to think what the reasoning for the 2-year ineligibility postseason is whenever you transition up to the FBS.
One theory I've heard is that a team would have a really good recruiting class or two and be really good and try to capitalize on those teams, and then they'd be bad again and it would just be a bad deal for the program. But that doesn't make sense to me either. It's a stupid rule.
Okay, what if they had a couple of great recruiting classes and want to take advantage of it? Don't you want to see the best games in the postseason?
Yes.
Let's not let a good team in to let a bad team in. I don't understand that at all. I could understand, like, if you're going down a level, not being eligible for the postseason perhaps, but that is so stupid. And since it seems like how often, it's not like this, how often does this rule even matter? Right? Probably never. So it's not something that you have to just absolutely ardently stick to because this comes up every single year, every couple of years, and there's something critical about it. No, it's the easiest decision ever. That's why I have zero faith that the NCAA will make the right choice. It's easy.
We should all, if they don't, we should all publicly clown the NCAA. I know we do that anyways, but we need to ramp up the intensity because the NCAA's job, from what I've always understood, is to look out for the best interests of the student athletes. That's how I've always understood it. This football team for JMU, they have a chance to play for a Sun Belt Conference title. The players deserve it. I mean, if the NCAA is about what is best for student athletes, rewarding them for their hard work on and off the field, there's only one correct choice here. And not only that, dude, they've got a great opportunity to be the highest ranked group of 5 team in the nation and go play in the New Year's Six Bowl. Ted, we've played in those games. Those trips are a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Some of the best memories of my life are from those trips.
Gabe, if they allow James Madison, then that means that some barely eligible bowl team is going to get bumped out the bottom. Some 6-win team is not going to be able to go to the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl or whatever.
These players have deserved to have, they have earned the right to have these amazing experiences as a football team.
Sit in Little League. And right now they're actually, I saw some projections. There are not enough teams that are projected to be bowl eligible, like 6 and 6 teams to fill all the spots in the 41 bowl games.
And I guess JMU can get a spot if there's not enough teams that qualify. But that's not how it should be. This is a team that's a damn good football team. They should play for their conference championship in their conference championship game. And if they win it, they should go to the New Year's Six, because this is football. It's decided in between the lines, man. What are we doing, NCAA? Fix this.
That's the dumbest thing ever. Imagine if this were, fast forward a year and this is a 12-team playoff year.
Oh my gosh.
Which, next year, yeah, that's crazy. It's so stupid. If I'm like a bowl sponsor, I'm like scratching my head. It's like, wait a second. We don't have enough bowl eligible teams possibly right now. And we're going to be putting in some 5-win teams into bowl games, but maybe you've got an undefeated conference champ that is sitting at home watching. That's stupid. Any adult, you don't have any person with a brain can understand how stupid that is, except for the NCAA, apparently.
Well, not only the postseason ban, it applies to the conference championship game.
Wow.
It's insane. Let the guys experience what they've earned. Come on, NCAA. You've got an opportunity to get some positive publicity, guys. You can do it. You can do it.
Well, I wonder, what is the Sun Belt saying though about it?
It's the NCAA rule. It's out of their hands.
I guess would they allow, I guess they wouldn't have a choice, but I don't know. I guess I'm wondering what's in the contract paperwork for them. I don't know. That's stupid. Dumb.
I'm with you. My loser of the weekend. It's not the weekend yet. Dang it. My loser of the week. NC State football. Did you see what's going on with that quarterback situation?
No.
So, Brennan Armstrong, remember, he was at Virginia. He transferred in this season to reunite with his former offensive coordinator. He was their starter to start the season. He didn't play particularly well. So, Dave Dorn made the switch to a guy named MJ Morris about a month ago. And he's been decent for the Wolfpack, and they've played better. They are 3-1 in Morris's 4 starts, including wins over Miami and Clemson in the last 2 weeks. Well, on Tuesday, it came out that MJ Morris said, I'm not playing the rest of the way. I want to preserve my red shirt. Now, he burned his red shirt last year as a freshman, playing in 5 games. I think one of those games he played 3 snaps or something like that against Syracuse. The plan going into the season was for him to redshirt and sit behind Armstrong. Plans changed. And a lot of, this has been a very polarizing issue. A lot of people are mad at MJ Morris. A lot of people are on his side. I don't know. It's just, it feels, I wanted to get your thoughts, Ted. What do you think of this entire situation? His dad has come out and said, hey, no one said he's leaving the program. The plan was for him to redshirt this season. It's just odd, though.
Of course he's leaving. Right?
I don't know.
You don't take a redshirt year when you're the starting quarterback. Unless you're leaving.
Typically not.
You sit a year so you can be the starter. You don't sit a year when you're the starter. I don't know what to make of it. It sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
This guy isn't exactly lighting it up either. 55% completion percentage, 719 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Some people seem to think he's going to attract some big NIL package from somewhere else. Okay. I don't know, but It kind of feels like the college equivalent of a holdout.
Did the staff just find out about this?
Yes. It was a surprise to the staff. It was a surprise to Dave Doran from what I could gather. Player empowerment, baby. Hey, coach, nope, I'm good.
I think I'd kick him off the team.
I'm interested to see how Dave Doran reacts to this. The only thing I will say in defense of MJ Morris is he played as a freshman last year. He thought he was going to be the starter. And they brought Brennan Armstrong in. Now, there was a competition in camp. He had a chance to beat him out, but he thought he was going to be the starter this season. They brought another guy in via the portal to take his job. Maybe he's still feeling some type of way about that, but yeah, not a great situation there for the Wolfpack and the dynamics in that locker room.
There's no way that this kid can ever even step foot in that locker room again. Right?
If I was an O-lineman, now their last win, they just beat Miami. It got them bowl eligible. But if I'm a senior on that team, I want to go to a good bowl game. I want to keep winning games, and their next games are Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, and North Carolina. I don't think I would handle it well as his teammate at all. But this is a product of the new day and age of college football, right? With the rules. Is it that bad of a thing that he's going, hey, I'm going to see what all my options are?
Yes, it is that bad of a thing. It's a horrible thing. You don't commit to a season with your teammates, take over as the starter, be one of the leaders on the journey, and then to do what's best for yourself, which he's got a chance to play 8 games, start 8 games. I think that is the most chicken shit thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. A player just pulling himself out in the middle of a season.
The starting quarterback.
I would don't even come in the locker room. Pack your shit and go. Get in the transfer portal. Don't want you. I'd rather go out and lose the remaining games playing with guys that are in the fight and in the fire and want to be there. 100%. I don't care about NIL. That is the dumbest thing ever. I'm surprised one of his teammates hasn't already slapped the shit out of him, which maybe they have. I don't know.
You cannot confirm or deny any slapping going on, but I think it's safe to say if you and I were in the situation, if we were Dave Doran, I think we'd handle it the same way. Appreciate you, man, but gotta go.
Get an early jump on that transfer portal.
I can't believe there's so many people going, oh, yeah, he's doing what's best for him.
No, he's not. You think that quitting on a team in the middle of the season down the stretch is doing what's best for him? You almost don't touch him with a 10-foot pole in the transfer portal, no matter what your quarterback situation is, just as a principle. Because you're going to bring him in the locker room and everyone's going to be like, aren't you the most selfish guy to ever play football in the history of the world? Yeah, you are. That's interesting. We'll see how this works. That's crazy.
I think it's the best way to describe it, short-sighted decision. That's being as nice as possible. If MJ Morris wants to play in the NFL, and NFL teams overlook all kinds of stuff if guys are talented enough. But the first time he sits in front of NFL decision makers, if he ends up being that type of guy, hey, tell me about why you just kind of left your football team in the month of November. Let's talk about that. He is going to carry this with him the rest of his career.
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that. That's wild.